We're already warmed up. We're ready to go. We recorded one. I changed my hats. I didn't change my shirt, but maybe we'll release this one as an extra episode. Maybe we'll hold this one in the archive for a rainy day. But hey, we're back at it again today with Wild Pitch episode to be determined. But we're talking content that will actually make you money. I know sometimes the content that makes you the most money gets the lowest viewership, but we're going to try to strike a balance this morning on stuff you need to hear that if you do it will make you money. At the end of the video, we'll also have a hot take. Nick's hot take on something he'll find out in real time, and you'll find out if you agree or disagree with his hot take. Like the video, comment below, subscribe. Nick, what are we talking about today?
I'm just going to be sitting here waiting for the hot take call for the next 15 minutes. I think today we are going to be talking about why you should probably be cross-selling ancillary insurance products if you're selling Medicare. Whether that's MedSups, Medicare Advantage, these programs all have tremendous holes in them, and it is to your benefit and to your client's benefit to cross-sell to ancillary products. Man, that sounds boring. Just even saying it, like I'm bored to tears already. Make this exciting, Chris.
I got it. We're gonna make it a top 5. What else do you do when you don't know what to do? You make it a top 5.
Oh man, I haven't created a list or anything. This is gonna be hilarious.
All Mine's blank. It's my blank. 5 cross-sale products that you can sell that as Medicare continues to pay you less and less and less, and then nothing. You can continue to pay your bills because your bills don't get lowered later in the year. Ooh. 5 cross-sale products you can sell. Number 5.
Okay. Number 5. Number 5 being like the lowest on the totem pole. So let's I guess they're in the ranking system of cross-sale products that you can compliantly sell. We'll go with short-term home health care, Chris. Short-term home health care.
Oh, God.
Well, it's number 5, man. Come on. It's not the sexiest thing.
What even is that?
Short-term home health care. So here's the benefit of short-term home health care. Medicare covers home health care for free, but it usually does not cover it in the amounts that people want. So a short-term home health care plan allows you to receive home health care and pay for it without needing Medicare to necessarily approve it. So like, let's say you are in need of an aid, and your doctor has said, hey, I would like somebody with you at your house 7 days a week. And Medicare comes back and says, we think 3, which happens.
Mm-hmm.
You can then pay for those other 4 days without having to pay out of your own pocket because home health care is expensive.
There we go.
And it'll keep you out of a nursing home. The other reason why I like to use home health care, because again, that's not a very sexy product, and the reality is 5 is going to be tricky, and so I'm digging deep.
No.
The reason why I like home health care though is many home health care plans come attached with a hospital indemnity plan.
Mm-hmm.
Usually that hospital indemnity plan does not have any underwriting. So you can backdoor your way into getting somebody a hospital indemnity product that might not otherwise qualify for it. Now, short-term home health care is definitely more expensive than a traditional hospital indemnity product, but it is a good way to get somebody who has, for example, COPD, for example, insulin-dependent diabetes, for example, atrial fibrillation. These are things that will disqualify you from getting a hospital indemnity plan.
I like that. I have no idea. I've literally learned something in my own video today that has to be worth
boom
10 subscribers. Short-term home health care might actually include hospital indemnity. For the sake of time, who offers such a unicorn product?
Guaranteed Trust Life. Guaranteed Trust Life's got a really good one. Theirs is, like I said, a little expensive. It also comes with a prescription drug rider where if you get your prescriptions filled, they'll reimburse you. Even if you don't pay anything, they pay you a flat fee. They pay you $10 for generic drugs and $25 for name brand drugs.
There we go. Number 4,
pretty nice.
For the sake of time, a cross-sale product I can sell that cash flows my business, that keeps me going as Medicare continues to pay me less and then nothing.
All right. So we're not going to call this a cross sell because it is not legally a cross sell. You are not cross selling what I'm about to suggest that you
Another
cross sell.
sale, not a cross
It
sale.
is another sale. But and again, especially if you're doing med subs, looking for annuity sales is a really great thing to do at the end of a Medicare sale. A lot of times you're looking at what they've got in terms of their finances when you're looking to apply for them for subsidies and making sure what they qualify for. And you have all sorts of good reasons to talk to them about their financial status. The majority of single premium life insurance and annuity sales that I've made have been off of my med sup clients because they tend to have a little bit more money. They tend to have a little bit of money it's saved.
Mm-hmm.
You run into somebody who, when you're going over their finances and you're like, hey, maybe you qualify for extra help. Let's see what you get. Do you have anything in savings? And they're going to say, oh yeah, I've got $20,000 sitting in a CD. Well, maybe that's not the best place to have your $20,000. I just got a life insurance settlement. My husband died a couple of years ago and I have $40,000. It's just sitting in my checking account. Well, maybe that's not the best place to have your $40,000 sitting. I just retired from work. Man, that comes up a lot, right? I just retired from work. I've got a $250,000 401k that I've got to do something with. Well, yeah, I can probably help you roll that over into something. Those are excellent things to grab if you know to look for them. Now, this is not an annuity or financial services podcast. Are we calling it a podcast? We're calling it a YouTube show. I don't know what we call this. That podcast feels weird, but
Yeah, I think podcasts identify as podcasts, even if they're visual. Anybody can identify as anything nowadays. Nick, how do I ask an annuity question? Because I have an agent who's written $1.5 million in annuities simply by asking one question and has stumbled into a significant amount of income through that one question. How do you
my
ask?
goodness, I want to hear that one question. Forget what I have to say. What does this guy have to say? What's his one magic question?
There you go. You can watch Melanie's video on the industry influencers series on a playlist for industry influencers. 1.5 million. I don't know how to do it. How do I make it pop up here?
Yeah, you got to make it pop up at the top of the screen here.
Damn.
With a little link or at an end cap at the end of the video. So mostly I just I find out because I'm going through to see if they qualify for a low income subsidy.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that with everybody, even people that I'm like, there's no chance, because it gives you a really good opportunity for fact finding.
Mm-hmm.
You go through and you have to find out, what do you have in savings? How much do you have in savings? Where do you have it in savings? How much interest are you earning on that? And you can talk to them. Man, right now, between single premium life insurance rates and annuity, especially like multi-year guaranteed annuity rates,
Mm-hmm.
MIGAs are not the sexiest annuity product. You don't make a ton of money off of a MIGA, but the rates on MIGAs right now are ridiculous. They're just such no-brainer, easy slam dunk sales. Just like, hey, I can get you 5% interest compounding guaranteed for the next 5 years with money that you're not going to touch anyway. You want to do that? People do that all day long.
You've almost already sold me an annuity today just listening to that. 5% compounding, no risk of loss. What a wonderful idea.
Yeah, fantastic idea. It's ridiculous. It's the easiest. It's such an easy stumble across sale. You just have to find that the money's there.
It's
but
another
not
thing.
legally a cross sale. Don't do it at the same time as a Medicare appointment. It is not on your scope of appointment, and you will get in all kinds of trouble. Don't do that.
It's another sale. It's not a
It is
cross
another
sale.
sale.
But what would another sale or a cross sale number 3 be in cash flow products I can sell as Medicare continues to pay me less, and then again, nothing in the winter?
Your number 3 top cross sale opportunity is dental insurance, standalone dental insurance. Oh my gosh. Dental vision health plans also all call them the same thing. That they're fine too. Standalone dental insurance is something that every med sup client is going to need.
Mm-hmm.
If they have a supplement plan, they absolutely need some standalone dental. Dental vision health is fine. Sorry, not dental vision health, dental vision hearing. Dental vision hearing is fine. Those plans are usually not as great. They're not quite as sexy, but they'll do the job. People will mostly have heard of Delta Dental, and Delta Dental is accepted by like every dentist in the world. It is also not particularly fantastic insurance. It's very expensive and doesn't offer a lot of benefits. If you have a good dental plan, that is worth its weight in gold. Dental plans are easy to sell. Dental plans are inexpensive. Dental plans pay, well, okay. Yeah, like, fine. But you'll make a couple $100. And if you are in the time of year where, you're selling a Medicare Advantage plan, and maybe the Medicare Advantage plans you have in your area don't have very good dental, or, an extra $30 a month to have decent dental, if the plan that you've got doesn't have it, is worthwhile. And an extra $200 or $300 in your pocket has never been turned down by anybody. And it is an easy and effective cross sell. Legal too.
I enjoy the fact that there's so many state variations and county variations in some of these Medicare Advantage plans. On a side note for the video, I stumbled upon the Aetna Advantra Philly Prime recently.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Good Lord, a one-time hospital fee and not a per day?
Yeah.
Novel concept.
It's ridiculous. That is becoming, in southeastern Pennsylvania, that is becoming more and more common, but not in Philadelphia yet. It's coming though. The flat fee one-time hospital stay is going to become a reality in the Philadelphia market and the whole southeastern Pennsylvania market very quickly. I'm expecting interesting rollouts for this year's AEP, honestly.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's a thing we could talk about in the future, I guess. Predicting what's coming down the pike, the next hot thing in Medicare.
There we go. Number 2, cross sale or other sale, depending on how legal you want to keep it. Products I can sell to keep my cash flow up during this time of year and then into AEP.
Well, so we're going to try and keep it as cross sale as possible. So legal and above board, and not giving you problems. I struggle to rank these 1 and 2. I feel like what I'm going to call number 2 is actually the easier sale. You will sell more of these than my number 1 item. Because it's easier. It's more of a slam dunk sale, but it's less good of a product. It's less good for your client. And if you can sell the number 1 product, you will make a little bit more money and your clients will be better protected. But the number 2 item is hospital indemnity plans.
HIP plans.
HIP plans all day long. HIP plans. Everybody should get one. If you're getting a Medicare Advantage plan, unless it's a SNP plan, unless anybody who's not getting a SNP plan, or a D-SNP plan specifically, if you're not dual eligible and you're not getting a MedSup, you need a hospital indemnity plan. It should be non-negotiable. You should not allow your clients to say no. You should not be giving this to them as an option. This is not an optional extra. This is a requirement that they need to protect themselves, because if they are not willing to do that, they are going to get hit with very large bills if they end up with hospitalization, ambulance rides, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, as things get better and as Advantage plans improve, HIP plans are a little bit less important than they used to be. You are getting things like, there are plans out there that'll give you Medicare Advantage plans out there that'll give you a flat fee of like $300 one time, unlimited days, $350 one time, unlimited days. Even some less good plans, still $750 one time, unlimited days. Hospitalization plans are still nice in those situations because they are indemnity. They're not based on what you're actually paying. You could end up making a little bit of money off your hospital stay, but HIP plans are cheap. HIP plans is redundant. P and HIP is the plan, but HIPs are cheap. Yeah, like all day long, every time. If you present them to every person that you talk to, you should sell them to almost every person that you sell a Medicare Advantage plan to.
I've got 2 objections, maybe just 1, in that maybe you could help me overcome, maybe you can help the viewing audience overcome. Nick, I'm just not going to pay these hospital bills anyway. I owe like $810 million to the hospital. I'm just not going to pay it anyway. So why would I purchase this HIP plan?
Listen, if you're not going to pay it anyway, then we better get you some life insurance, because they are going to take everything from you after you die. is not actually what I would say to a client. But realistically, like, they're going to take everything from you after you die. Listen, some people are going to be stubborn. You wanna not get to the point where you're getting that particular response. You wanna build things to the point where you're saying, hey, listen, all of these plans have holes. Every single one of them has a hole in it. There's nothing you can do about it. You are at risk for getting hit with some fairly large bills. Now, we can help you avoid those really large bills. It's going to cost you, $20-$30 a month. That's worth it to avoid getting some really large bills, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
I
All right.
want large
So
bills.
it'll make your life easier. We're gonna want to take care of that. So we'll circle back to that after we get you enrolled, and I'll show you how we can make sure that those large bills are taken care
Okay. Good idea. I
of.
think I will purchase that product since you recommend it today.
Yeah. Which brings us into the number one product, actually, unless you had another objection that you wanted to go over.
No,
But
that was it.
the number one product, and it is something that is a little bit of a harder sell, and you will get more objections to, but really, 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 I believe in this product. And I really think it's important that everybody who has a Medicare Advantage plan has one of these, and honestly, even people with subs should probably have one, and that is cancer insurance. Specified illness cancer insurance. Not necessarily a critical illness plan. People don't need heart attack, stroke, kidney dialysis necessarily. But the reality is, if you are on Medicare and you get cancer, and you have an Advantage plan, you will be paying your maximum out of pocket instantaneously, because that's how much chemotherapy costs, and that's how much radiation therapy costs, and those have 20% copays. People who are being treated for cancer get $1 million bills every single year, and 20% of that $1 million is more than your maximum out of pocket.
So you're going to at least pay your MOP, is what you're trying to say.
At the very least, you're hitting your maximum out of pocket every single year if you're a cancer patient, without question. You're also probably hitting the donut hole, and blasting through that into catastrophic coverage, and like having some fairly large prescription drug bills also. It is not difficult to cover that. 1 out of every 2 women in the United States, and 1 out of every 3 men is going to get cancer. So like, if you look to your left and you look to your right in any group of people, one of those people that you're looking at is going to become a cancer patient at some point in time. If you are sitting with somebody and they have not already been a cancer patient, their odds are extremely high that at some point they're going to get cancer. It sucks. Cancer sucks. Nobody wants to talk about it, just like nobody wants to talk about life insurance. If you keep it focused on protecting yourself dollar-wise, it's a much easier conversation. You don't talk about necessarily getting them $50,000 or $100,000 of cancer protection. You talk to them about getting, 2, 3, 4 years of protection of copays from their cancer bills. And, if your maximum out of pocket is $7,000, well, we can get you a $14,000 cancer policy, or we can get you a $21,000 cancer policy, or, enough to cover you for a few years of cancer treatments if God forbid the worst comes up.
Yeah. I had a guy that I worked with for a while that if he couldn't get the final expense sale, his Hail Mary was, Miss Mary, 1 out of 3 women get cancer. Odds are you're going to get cancer. How about we set up a small $5,000 cancer plan for you to help you with those bills when it happens?
Yeah.
And he would walk out with 1 or 2 of those a week. And
yeah.
I mean, that was turning that lead from a lost sale into at least a small flag planted in that home. Nick, I forgot to ask this. I want to rewind to number 2, hospital indemnity plans.
Sure.
Who would you recommend carrier-wise? Maybe a couple carriers, maybe one, as a who to sell that with?
Yeah, there's a lot of places that sell good hospital indemnity plans. Heartland has a good one. Guaranteed Trust Life, who we mentioned for short-term home health, has a good one. Aetna's got a good one. There's a number of places that you can go to have decent home health care coverage. The bigger deal is you just want to know how they underwrite. There are some of these plans that don't do any underwriting if you are within 6 months of having turned 65, which is kind of neat. There are some of these plans that offer additional bells and whistles, and kind of take a look at what's available for you in your market. But I would say those are probably the big three are going to be Aetna, Heartland, and Guaranteed Trust Life right now, at least. And
There you go. For cancer insurance, who offers it? Who might I consider selling it for?
okay. So Mutual of Omaha has the best cancer plan on the market, as far as I'm concerned right now. If you get it before you turn 65, it is full return of premium if you die of something other than cancer. So if you die and you don't have cancer, you can add that on after you're 65, but you have to pay more for it. Their look back on having previously had cancer is like 10 years, but so it's less good for somebody who's maybe had cancer than say like an Aetna product, but its rates are extremely low, especially for women. It's a really solid product. Like, I always hesitate to recommend one of the big behemoth companies, but sometimes they're a big behemoth company for a reason. Like it's a rock solid product. There's nothing you can say against it right now.
I like that. So Omaha return of premium. I may not be available in every state for that rider, but
Yeah.
your favorites for cancer coverage. I like that. A cancer. I'll leave a story. Then we're going to do our hot take. If the dog would actually stop giving his hot take today, her hot take. Very first person I ever sold cancer insurance to. I had just gotten my health license. I was practicing with new products. Had almost no idea what I was doing. But if you go out there and do it, you'll eventually figure out what you're doing. And I sat in front of Miss Long, sold her a cancer policy. She got cancer. God, it's awful. And it paid, it did its job, and she had some extra cash and dignity during that process of her life. Nick, hot take for today. You're under 65, just like you, just like me, just like pretty much everyone watching this video. What kind of critical illness, accident insurance, and products like that should our demographic consider purchasing?
Ooh, okay. Well, if you are a face-to-face life insurance salesman and you do not have accidental death coverage on yourself, shame on you. It is cheap and it is easy to get, and you have a very high likelihood of dying in an accident, way more than the average Joe. Buy yourself an accidental death policy. If you are selling over the phone, I suppose less critical. But what we do is generally considered a high risk job, maybe not as high risk as a police officer or firefighter, but reasonably high risk. Have accidental death coverage. I also genuinely think that most people should probably have some sort of critical illness cancer insurance, especially for the self-employed that are out there watching this who are probably underinsured for their health insurance. You know who you are. Um, a, a good cancer policy, a good critical illness, heart attack, stroke policy is not very expensive and will maybe prevent you from having to go bankrupt if you have a major health issue. They are a big deal. The bigger thing for anybody who's working, and I don't sell disability insurance, but like we all like disability coverage, man. Like again, you're watching this, you're probably an independent life insurance agent or independent Medicare agent or independent insurance agent of some stripe. If you lose your ability to go into the field and talk to people or pick up a phone and talk to people or sit for hours at a desk in any capacity, you probably can no longer make a living. And a decent disability policy can be the difference between, again, bankruptcy and continued lifestyle.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. I meet so many insurance agents who just don't. They know all this. They know all the statistics. But they don't have life insurance on themselves. They don't have
That's
disability insurance on
embarrassing.
themselves. They don't
I
have
mean, time out. That's literally embarrassing. Like if you have a life insurance license and you do not have life insurance, you're a freaking embarrassment.
It
Like,
is.
go
It's crazy.
upstairs, write yourself a policy. I don't care if you're seriously ill. Call Lincoln Heritage and get a. Come on, like what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm
No.
sorry, I cut you off. Come
No,
on.
but like so many, right? So many. I grew up knowing people in the insurance industry. You know, my father has been in the insurance industry my entire life. He does annuity sales, and so I grew up. It is shocking to me the number of people who are in this industry who do not practice what they preach, and do not take basic precautions, because much like many of our clients, they feel like they can't afford it. Have health insurance, have life insurance, have a little bit of supplemental insurance coverage, get some disability coverage, protect yourself, man. Like
Yeah.
it's important.
I think beside for the protection part, like you're just a hypocrite. Like if you sell life
Yeah.
insurance,
Yeah,
you
no, it's
sell
true.
life insurance. Like this isn't a hobbyist kind of Uber thing. You actually sell it. Why don't you own it?
Yeah.
Nick, one more hot take if we don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh, what is my rollouts? Rollouts and AEP prep. How many freaking rollouts do I need to go to?
None.
How long do I need to spend on AEP prep? Give me a hot take on that timeline where people love to spend more time making no money.
So the only rollout that I would recommend going to is if it is an in-person rollout for a product that you plan to sell a lot of, and the broker manager is going to be there. Your local broker manager is going to be there. Go to that one, meet that person in person, shake their hand, get to know them, buy them a drink. They can be very helpful. Otherwise, virtual ones, unless they're requiring you to do it to get certified, don't go. Webinars, useless. You can learn this stuff on your own, people. Read a book. You can figure it out. They're only going to tell you what they want you to hear. It is extremely biased and not necessarily very good information that you're going to get at these rollouts. AEP prep. What prep? AEP is the prep. Take a weekend. You can do. Man, I've seen people speed run AEP in 4 hours. AEP does not need to be arduous, especially if you've taken it before. If it is your first time, if you've never done Medicare before, I always want my brand new agents who, especially if they're just very recently health licensed, I want my new agents to take their time with AEP and do one module a day so they can retain some of that information. But if this is your third or fourth time doing AEP, there is no reason why it should take you more than a weekend to knock out AEP.
Well said.
Not AEP, AHIP. I keep saying AEP, but alphabet soup. I know what I mean. Hopefully you do too.
I went to the SRG gathering last year in Philadelphia because it was a cool venue and it was one of those get in the room kind of scenarios. I wasn't going to take any tangible sales skills from it, but Tyler Reese was there. The owner of AmeriLife was there. Peter Walker was there. All important people that you should be present in front of if you're expecting their marketing support and their collaboration and their knowledge. That was a valuable thing to go to. And the innovative get together kind of got me in together with the right people. No tangible sales information. I appreciate your hot take, Lucy. Again, if your FMO has an AEP launch, an AEP launch, that might be a valuable prep thing for you to do as well.
Yeah, that's a different story. That's a different thing entirely. I'm on record as saying you shouldn't be going to conferences. You shouldn't be going to a lot of this stuff. You should be spending your time selling. But the reality is, if something that your agency, your upline, your FMO, your IMO is putting together, and you have chosen to hitch yourself to their wagon, do the stuff that they're telling you to do. There's probably a reason for that one. If it's random, one of the 500 webinars that you get advertised to from the various different companies, don't do those. Those are a waste of time.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys watching today. Like the video, even if the dog decided to bark during the video. Comment about what you'd like us to talk about. Subscribe to the channel. And next video, maybe we'll hear another hot take from Nick to wrap up the video. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.